Java. So this video is going to talk about how to fix the array index out of bounds exception. So what I'm going to do to demonstrate it is I'm going to take a look at, here's a typical array holding 3 numbers. So in position 0 of the array, we have, or index 0, we have a 10. At index number 1, we have an 11. And at index number 2, we have a 12. To represent this in Java, we would do something like this, where we would declare an array, give it a name. And in this case, I'm going to put in 10, 11, 12. And just a simple little display to show how it's accessing these different indexes. I printed out here 0, 1, and 2. Oops. Let's run that again. So we can see index 0 holds a 10, 1 holds 11, 2 holds 12. So a lot of people look at this programmatically and say, wow, he did the same line of code 3 times in a row. That seems like a lot of work when the only thing that's different is the 0, 1, and 2. 0, 1, and 2. Why not make a for loop to do that? So we'll say for int, and we'll say our index starts at 0. That's what we want to start at. And there's 3 positions in our array. So let's go numbers is less than or equal to our array, which we call numbers dot length. And we say I plus plus. So this will go, oops. This will go from 0 to the size of our array, which is 3, and go up by 1 each time. And then I'm just going to borrow this line of code here. And instead of having 2, I'll put in a %d as a placeholder. And then I can use I in each of these spots, right? So first time through loop, I will be 0. So it's going to say index 0 holds the number 0. So, and then it'll loop through for all the positions in the array. But when we run it, it runs, and at first it looks good. So there's our original one is there. And then there's our next one inside the for loop. Maybe I'll add a little print statement so it's more obvious. Okay, but then we get this exception, this array index out of bounds exception for the number 3. And the way you can look at this is it's actually telling you a tremendous amount of information. And if you're new to programming, sometimes reading these errors is a little intimidating. But I want to encourage you to spend the energy to learn how to read them, because it actually makes programming so much more easier. So here, we know what the exception is. It's called array index out of bounds. And if we look at, if we look at our array, the valid index positions are 0, 1, and 2. So we went outside the bounds of 0 to 2, which means anything less than 0 or anything greater than 2 is out of bounds. So if we go back here, and it's saying specifically the number 3 was the issue, right? So 3 is definitely outside the bounds. It only went from 0 to 2. So if we look at our for loop, and this is the most common place I see people making this error, is we look at this and we say our counter or our index position is less than or equal to the number. Well, because our array has 3 positions, that is going to allow it, if we say equal to, it'll allow us to go up to 3. So the simple cure here is we go from 0 to whatever integer is less than the length of the array. And when we run it, we get a nice simple program. So I hope that helps you in your troubleshooting. Always look to see what the error says. And in this case, you know, which is the most common scenario, we've got a loop that's going 1 number too high. I hope that helps. Cheers.